Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started. Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke,
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong,
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
and many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to the season finale of the Radical Racing Challenge live on Apex Racing TV. We're going to be able to crown our champion tonight after 5 laps of one of the most legendary circuits in the world, possibly the most legendary. It is the Nordschleife. It's a quick gridding up process around this track. We've got Peter Verlinde on pole position, Aaron Barber in second, Philip Hook and Michael Reinhardt on the second of the grid. Championship leader Pablo Lopez does fit. The rest of the order will go through for you now as the lights are on, and we are away racing then for the final time this season. Peter Verlinde versus Aaron Barber down into turn 1, and it's Verlinde ahead at the moment, holding on to that lead for the time being. Lopez actually getting ahead of Reinhardt for 4th position, all the drivers staying in place through the first few corners as we start this half an hour race. But welcome to the race, Peter. Final race of the season, and what place to enter?
Oh, the best. I mean, you just can't beat Nordschleife. It is the ultimate challenge of driving on tarmac, I have to say, and great to see Peter Verlinde getting it on pole position and leading at the front right now, because actually Peter has driven a real world Radical on the real Nordschleife, so he's got a bit of an advantage there as well. But great to see oh, we've already got a spinner. Oh, that could trigger quite a big incident, but oh, they get through. That was Castles. So Castles spins early. Oh, the unsung hero of Radical Racing Challenge is spun on the first lap. What a disaster, Sam.
And Aaron Barber's got into the lead of the race as well. We are expecting a lot of race lead changes as this event progresses. As long as the drivers stay and play, lots of slipstream right down the Doppner in these cars. You could probably start the straight 2 seconds behind, still be able to get past by the time you get on the race at the end of the Doppner. So really going to be an exciting race tonight. But so Barber leads, Verlinde in second, Lopez hanging on against Van Herk in 4th. And Van Herk looking to try to respond at Michael Reinhardt in 5th position. So far Webster and Castles, the 2 retirees from this race, and Antonelli as well, not getting a particularly good start, starting from the back of the order. But championship leader going into this race, Peter, is Pablo Lopez. He's pretty much got the season wrapped up, and it's been a pretty remarkable season from him, finishing I think he's finished on the podium every single race so far this season. I mean, it's unreal. Apart from last time out in Zolder when he had to miss the race, of course. But apart from that, he's been absolutely exceptional, trying to back that up tonight as well, and well, would be a very deserved champion, I think, when he finishes this race.
That he will, yeah. He really is Mr. Radical, isn't he? He's normally that would be a bad thing, but no, he is Mr. Radical Racing Challenge. That's what is Pablo. Very, very fast, very, very consistent, and the thing I like most about Pablo, Sam, is he's so modest with it. He comes in to have a chat with us after the racing. He's always in such a cheery mood, no matter what the result, which is always nice.
Absolutely, yeah. He's, I mean, he puts in a lot of practice. You know, he does the data sets for VRS. You can get some tuition from him if you sign up to Virtual Racing School in the Radical car. But he is very laid back at the same time, isn't he? And modest, as you say, that was remarkable. We had a close call with Halibut last week at Zolder. Well, that was very similar, sliding through the middle of two different cars. Here was Webster's incident then. So I thought Webster just didn't start the race, but no, he did have a big crash. Wow, that's a neck breaker, isn't it? And that was with the 22, so that was with Antonelli. That's why Antonelli was struggling a little bit. And that may have been Biscali who got involved as well. I think making a bit of contact on the way through. So, yeah, frantic start, and it's a little bit frustrating when you see that, Peter, because we saw it a little bit at Bathurst actually last time out as well. I think maybe around this circuit it's a bit more extreme. Where you just don't want to have guys collide on the first lap, you know, it's possible to overtake. And it's very narrow, you've got to be very careful, as we see Lopez drop down to 5th position. He's just lost out to Van Herk and to Reinhardt.
Yeah, Lopez is taking his time to bed in here in this race. It is a very, very long race. To make 5 laps of the Nordschleife without having any kind of mistake at all is tough. And you've really got to drive with a little bit of a margin. It's almost like you're on a rally and tarmac special stage in a way, where you just have to just leave that tiny little bit of reserve, because if you go absolutely flat out at the Nürburgring, there is just traps everywhere. Big bumps, big curves, there's always something that's going to throw you off course. But at the moment, Peter Belinda is showing some real prowess here, and just showing how important that track knowledge is.
That video that he posted on YouTube with his onboard vid, it's got like 700,000 views. I mean, and well, I don't want to be harsh to Apex Racing TV. After all, we are the go-to broadcaster of iRacing events. But I think combined on our channel, we've only got like 1.5 million views. So like Peter in like one video has got half the views that we've had in about 1,000 or 2,000. So very popular. It was a good lap as well. I don't know if you clicked on it, Peter, the video that was shared to us from Berlin. But you had a little bit of opposite look here and there. He was not holding back.
I haven't had the chance to look at it, but I will. I do really enjoy watching a Nürburgring onboard, now knowing the track quite well in the virtual form. Never driven it in the real world, would love to. And there's a fantastic image, a fantastic video of Kevin Estre, the Porsche factory driver, who in my mind is the finest driver in the world at the Nürburgring at this moment in time, and driving in a standard Porsche GT3 RS road car, taking on a passenger lap, and it is just mind-boggling. And also bearing in mind that he'll be leaving plenty in reserve as well, given that it's not in a racing situation. But you can see it's getting super busy here. Hurt, Verlinde, Reinhardt, Baba, Lopez, they're all in there together. Now, Baba was at the front, Verlinde was at the front, but neither of them are anymore. And that just goes to your point, Sam, that the Dothinger hole is going to play a major factor in this race. And I think that might be what Pablo Lopez is banking on. As long as he's in touch with the leaders, that's good enough.
That's the number 3 of Alan Tejas. I don't think has raced so far this season. Apologies, Alan Tejas a bit further up, but I can't remember what series I saw Alan Tejas in. But he's got a cool name, hence the reason I remember him. Kynan was bouncing with Aldridge. That's that we were watching Kynan winning out on that one. Has some good results recently. Has the flying fin, and yeah, running well in 10th position. Yeah, Aldridge with Rodriguez just on his tail as well. Coppolis a little bit further down than expected in 18th. We've kind of got 2 different packs at the moment. We've got that top 8, and then Bounty just a bit by himself, and then Kynan back all together. And it's a kind of a weird one, this, Pete, because we kind of think of the Dotnaho as the long straight, but in these radical cars, the way that this circuit is configured with kind of the half corners that you have, you've got some mega long straights. This is one of them where you're on the thoughts of probably about 30 seconds straight. Then you've got the one midway through the lap. Even here, you're on the thoughts of a 20 seconds straight. I mean, this is a proper speed jump when you're racing in cars like these.
It is, yeah, and also on the very much the uphill straight, heading up towards Bravery Corner, as it's known. That's where you've got a great opportunity to pull a draft manoeuvre. The flip side of that coin is that you be careful. Yeah, it was Aldridge having a bit of a moment there, did well to gather it up, but yeah, the only thing is it works on the other side. We've heard the drivers comment all season about the aero wash and the amount how hard it is to follow the car in front closely, because the dirty air, actually, you wouldn't believe it, coming out the back of these cars is actually quite significant and really disturbs the front grip of the car following behind. So if there's any circuit in the world where you want to go, where you don't want to go through a corner and suddenly lose grip, it's here at the Nordschleife. So the driver's going to have to be careful with that one, because we've seen a few drivers get caught out at certain points through the season.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a blend of those 2 factors. It's been a fascinating championship. I think the schedule as well has been superb in that regard. You know, we didn't go to Long Beach, so next season I'm sure we'll visit them. But apart from the absence of Long Beach, we've gone to some tight twisted circuits, some very fast circuits, and some mixture circuits as well. It's been really great fun. Of course, on Apex Racing TV, we will be broadcasting this championship next season as well. And so if you want to take part in this broadcast race, go try the Radical Racing Challenge. It is one of the most fun cars on the service. It's also a fixed setup series. So even if you're not familiar with setups, even if you don't want to pay for maybe a subscription service to get setups, you can still take part in this championship and be competitive. So do check it out, as we have Berlind. I think that was Berlind holding on to the lead, and yeah, in the lead now. Lopez moves up into 2nd place, and it's Van Herk.
Yeah, Lopez going past Van Herk there on the run up to Bravery Corner, and they head up towards the world famous carousel. And of course, people of my vintage will remember the days of Top Gear when Sabine Schmitz came around here in a transit van, which was very exciting to watch. And I think a little bit quicker in a Radical SR8 though.
I'm young, but even I remember that episode, and I think that was about 2008ish, and yes, it was. What was it? Okay. Well, I've got a good memory. That must be one of my earliest memories then. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was of course just over 10 minutes, wasn't it? I think on the same layout as this, and yeah, with Peter in real life, Peter Berlin. That's when he came around this circuit, the current race leader of this race. I think he did it in 6 minutes 40, which shows how quick these are. I mean, we are comparing vans and sports cars here, but I think it still does show off how much faster, especially seeing that yeah, Shabin is a very quick driver around this track. And yeah, so these radicals absolutely super fast, even though they are a pretty old car on the iRacing service. I mean, this is just scary to watch. I think the graffiti just makes it look as though you're going even faster as well. And yeah, really a roller coaster on steroids is this track in this car.
That it is, yeah, it is just exceptional. And Of course, Sabine Schmitz, she is known as the Queen of the Ring, has done tens of thousands of laps around the circuit, and is also, whoa! See, that's the number 2 of Valentinius. Stranded across the circuit, and that might have caused a bit more problems there. There was a car that had to take evasive action. Might be Kynan, yeah. Let's get a look then. See what happened. This is the sort of mini carousel. Left-hander, very difficult camber here. And he just runs into the back of the car in front, and Kynan couldn't really do anything. Into the wall he went, and the rest all get through unharmed, which is good to see. So just a small couple of cars there, but look at this. It's like Talladega going into the final S's. Lopez up on the curb, and he takes the lead now. So Verlinde, interesting, Sam. Verlinde seems to have the pace to get to the front every time in each lap, but as soon as he gets to the Dotinger hole, he's getting overtaken. So I wonder if Verlinde now just let the other guys pace the field and see what happens. We'll see. But yeah, just coming back to Sabine Schmidt, she's actually the co-owner of my favourite team at the Nürburgring, the Frikadelli team, which have got 2 sponsors, 2 main sponsors anyway. They've got a beer sponsor and a petrol sponsor.
Aha! Can get more German with that.
On a Porsche.
on a Porsche, yeah. There was an issue for Rodriguez, who seems to still be running. I thought Rodriguez had scrumpled that car very much. Remarkably, it's only one driver going up here. So Rodriguez trying to get clear. It's almost clear. Oh, was that some netcode, or maybe he was just losing it by himself? He's hit the wall there. I do not know how he doesn't have steering damage after that. He may well do. He is jumping a bit of time, I think, to those guys. As Van Herk goes back to the lead. It's a shame, actually, that Valentini just made that mistake, because he had been able to catch up to these guys. Valentini just were about 3 seconds behind these guys. Managed to get right onto the tail of them, about to go onto the Dotner Hoe. He could have been leading this race, Valentini, just with the strength of that Dotner Hoe. Yeah, shame that we've lost one of our rivals, but these guys keep battling, then they could invite Steve Brown into the fight, the Australian driver. About 2.7 seconds behind these drivers at the moment, behind that lead pack. He might be able to bridge that. Then you got that big gap back to the Swedish Gary Lineker, which is Jochen Bengtsson, and then David DeWitt, Chevrolet Aldridge Skierski, at the top 13.
Yeah, just Steve Brown in 8th in the number 16 car. That was who Valentini just got checked up behind, coming out of the second mini carousel, if you like. But it's amazing how many cars we've now got in this leading group, because as De Herk, Lopez, Verlinde, as they're swapping places, that's just limiting the pace of the leading group a little bit, and that's allowing an extra cast of characters to come in. We've got McHutchison in there in 6th, and Paul Crabb at the back of the pack. There he is in 7th position. And if these guys battle anymore, Steve Brown could catch up. He's got a couple of seconds to look up, but a fascinating battle. Who would have thought, actually, Sam, that we'd have so many cars in the lead battle? Because sometimes you can see breakaways at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tricky course that, yeah, there's often a big skill difference between the top drivers and other drivers. You sometimes have some specialists, and you can have, yeah, someone win by a country mile, but I mean, it's maybe a bit of a cliche to say, but these guys are just very good, I think. So there we are, getting that extra. They're all driving at 99% right now. They're really leaving nothing to spare. As Lopez moving back into the lead here, and he does pass Van Herk. Van Herk will just try to be staying into second position right now, and that he does. But I just hope that we keep this cast of drivers in play till the last lap, because my goodness, we've had some good ends to the season so far. Road America, I think the best one, when Barber managed to out-drag Lopez to the finish line. But I think if we could have 7, maybe even 8 cars battling down the Dotner Hoe, maybe that would just take the biscuit for the season. It would be a nice way to finish off what has been a brilliant season of the Radical Racing Challenge. yeah, top 7 at the moment, separated by 1.8 seconds.
Indeed, yeah, what a battle. Well, I think one thing we can be guaranteed, even if we do lose 1 or 2 of this cast, we will still have an absolute Barney going into the last S's. And it's, I guess there'll be, I can imagine, Sam, there'll be a little bit of the last day of school syndrome. You know, when you can get away with a little bit more on the last day of school. You know, there's that kid that you didn't really like and be nasty to, you can go and biff them in the nose, knowing that you'd be escaping on the school bus and have the whole of the holidays for it to cool off.
Scottish schools are very different to English schools, it seems. Yeah,
I doubt it.
You see, you know, it comes a bit obvious, doesn't it, Peter? But, you know, me, my character, you know, if I got a problem with someone, they know about it. You know, I don't wait any time. They get my feelings.
You're just a thug. I'm tactical, clearly.
Yeah, does have its consequences.
My point is that don't expect any of them to go half-hearted into the last S's. I suspect that, given that it's the last race and the championship is more or less decided, I think that they'll all jump in on top of each other going into the last corner.
Oh, and I wonder if he'll be crabbing his car right there. Oh, there you go, there. Classic. See, they're maxing it out on the circuit, we're maxing it out in the commentary box right now. You know, great minds think alike. Yeah, that's a shame for Crab. Brown's actually just been held up as well, but he's up in 7th place as Van Herk. He's back into the lead. They've broken away a bit. These guys, Reinhardt and Berlin, should be able to close in a bit because still got so much more of this straight to go. I mean, that gap at second, it'll probably be down to about half a second by the time they get onto the break. So they will reconvene, but we are down to a lead battle of 6 now out in this race. Lopez just staying behind Van Herk there. Berlin trying to hold on against Reinhardt, but it is Reinhardt moves up into 3rd place. Yeah, just got half a second to catch up. Yeah, they're all still one group, that is good to see. The top 2 couldn't quite break away right there. Also, Kyriakopoulos and Biscali getting ahead of Woodward and Rodriguez, respectively. Aldridge up into 10th position now. That is good for him. There is Kyriakopoulos. Yeah, ahead of this train. Shame to see that's not a little bit further up. But yeah, 14th place, one of the staples of this top split.
I thought that was Andre Agassi.
Oh, that's a reference I do understand.
Yeah, I thought you'd take that one as well. Now, what has happened to David DeWitt in the 7-Up and Tic Tac sponsored machine? Oh my! David is in the wall. Oh
I
my!
Mean, if that was real life, his head would have gone flying off his body right now. The G-force is there, being stuck in the barrier. Mad stuff. I didn't even know that was possible. I don't know if that's a glitch or something, but yeah, that was crazy. Fortunate as well, because otherwise we would bounce back on to the other drivers. As Lopez retakes the lead, Reinhardt up into 2nd place, and Van Herk all of a sudden drops down to 4th. Now that's not too bad. We've still got a lap and a half of this main on course remaining of this race, but it's not ideal. He would have preferred to be a little bit further up, and actually Barber's got past as well. So Van Herk putting so much effort into getting into the lead. He is back down into 5th place. Oh, bit of contact between 3rd and 4th, and that was Verlind and Barber going against one another. Both race winners so far this season. Lopez got a heap of race wins as Verlind absolutely messes up that chicane. But Verlind with a couple, Barber with that race win back at Road America. And yeah, Lopez with about 6 wins so far this season. I think Halliburton with the rest, as something that's happened to Lucas Skierski. I think this is a move that he's made. No, it's something bad that happens to Skierski. And what was a nice 360 at least.
Oh my, that was a bit of a tangle, to say the least. But yeah, I wonder what Aaron Baba will think about that. There's a little bit of damage on the side of Aaron Baba's car from that little bit of contact with Peter Verlind. I wonder if Verlind's car, yeah, there is a little bit there on the right-hand side. These cars are so fragile that just the slightest contact can give me damage. How much that will hold them back, I'm not sure. We'll get a good impression of how much when we go onto the Dottinger hole. And this is where we'll get a good impression. Up the hill we go. Now I always do that. We've got one downhill left and then a right, and then we go up the hill. There we go. This is such a critical corner here. So critical that I can't tell you what it's called. And then up the hill we go. This is where the slipstream is going to make a big difference.
You know when I said that I'd be up for doing VLN with you, Peter? I don't know if I can take that back now, because you know, I don't really want us to be turning right into a left-hander.
No, we're safe. We're all right.
Yes. Okay. Barber almost getting past Berlin, but Berlin's got the draft ahead. They're very basic, I think so. We know Barber's very aggressive, but Berlin tends to be a bit more one of the best tactical drivers. One last time out, of course, at his home race at Zolder. Looking to make it 3 wins out of 12, which would be pretty epic for Berlin. So he's only finished on the podium twice, I think, this season, but both of them have been race wins. And now he's usually been a bit absent. He's certainly delivering at this final race of the season. Of course, going into this race, Pablo Lopez leading the way in the championship. He's pretty much got the championship in the bag. It was actually Kike Ming in 2nd position going into this round, and Kane Halliburton in 3rd. But with Ming and Halliburton not around, Kynan a little bit further down. McCutchinson is there in 6th place. We've barely talked about McCutchinson so far. He might be moving up some places. So championship still possible to change. Of course, this week, this split by far the highest strength of field race we have all week, and so these are where the big points matter. Whoever wins this race basically wins the week. You can see properly high strength. I think 6 splits for this event. That's over 100 drivers signing up for this race, and yeah, some properly top drivers in this one. Yeah. About 4 or 5 or a little bit longer to go.
Tell you what, I need to ask John Hutchison which dentist he goes to, because he has some very white teeth there. I must ask him, because mine are suitably yellow at the moment. Too many coffees in Nordschleife. But anyway, dental hygiene aside, Ruben Rodriguez on the recovery drive with a bit of a wounded car after that little scrape. Actually, yeah, he's got quite a lot of damage on the front left of that car. That cannot be enjoyable. I mean, a full health radical here at the Nürburgring is one of the great driving pleasures, but not one that's been smashed up like that. Now, Pablo Lopez has got the biggest gap we've seen so far, and at the moment, about 0.7 of a second or so. Now we'll see. This is how much are you going to need if you want to lead onto the Dottinger hole. So Pablo doing a little bit of jinking around, not too much. Just back and forth. There we go. Here we are. Is this Daytona? Is it Talladega? No, it's the Nürburgring. Well, there you go. 0.7 of a second. I mean, it didn't even take half of the straight, and there goes Reinhardt.
Yeah, you're going to need more than a second, aren't you, at least, if you're going to catch up, and some proper weaving as well. Lopez going to try to stay in 2nd place. Oh, they make contact, and that's a huge crash for Aaron Barber. It's a shame for a season to end like that, but well, it had to happen to one of them. Oh, and it's wide as well for Reinhardt. Verlind up into 2nd place. Crucial mistake there from Reinhardt, and Lopez making a break for it. He's 1 second clear of the rest of the order. McCutchinson couldn't get past either, and this might just be the break that the championship leader needs to end this season on top.
Well, Peter Verlinda's got a bit of damage on the back of that car, and bit hip checking there as well. Dennis Kyriakopoulos nearly volleying Woodward out of the way there, but to get too clean. But wow, Aaron Barber, that was a violent accident. Let's get a look of replay and see what happened. I get the impression that Peter Verlinde and Aaron Barber don't get on. I just get that impression through the race today as they go. Well, actually, you can't really say Aaron Barber could have done very much there. Peter just sort of drove into the side of him.
Oh, I don't know. Well, there's no stewards here, so I can be fair. I thought Barber came across into Berlin, to be honest. I thought Berlin was quite consistent on his line.
Maybe we could get another look. Oh, This is Cars and Monsters Inc. all over again.
Yeah. No, well, no, I'd say this is tighter. With that one, there was no doubt. Here we go then. So let's see. Oh, that was on Bubba, I think.
Need to get another look at it. I shall look back at it later, and if an apology is necessary, I should be sure not to give you one.
Thanks.
I'm glad I'm not sure. I really am so glad I'm not sure. It must be the most horrible job in the world.
Yeah. You kind of have to be, kind of have to enjoy ruining people's day, I think, to get the most out of it. Lopez 1.8 seconds clear.
What do you do when you're not commentating, Sam?
Well, I've talked about some pretty shady business in this race, haven't I? Oh, Berlin's crashed. And, well, they're too busy fighting amongst each other, and they really let Lopez get away here. Here was Berlin in 3rd position at this point. Oh, he's just lost it by himself. McCutcheon with another place gained. John looking for another podium. He's got a couple so far this season. Berlin, though, staying in the race. How lucky is he for that? As Skierski has a bit of a slide. But yeah, Lopez 1.9 seconds ahead. The draft, I believe, kicks in at about 1.8 seconds in this car. So if the gap doesn't come down over this next part of the lap, which is where you can pick up a job and look at that actually. Well, actually no, so I was getting confused. But yeah, if the gap doesn't come down between Lopez and Reinhardt around this part of the track to maybe 1.5 seconds, then I think Lopez should be home dry.
Lopez has played this very, very clever, but he's pushed when he's needed to. He's kept his car out of trouble. And just, I think he would be looking in his mirror, he would have seen a little bit of argy-bargy going on and thought, right, okay, hit the afterburners, let's go. And, well, he is Mr. Radical Racing Challenge, a thoroughly deserving champion is Pablo Lopez. Of course, Kiki Ming and Kane Halliburton not here tonight, so it was more or less sealed up anyway. But that sort of put paid to it. But brilliant battle here between McCutcheon and Van der Herk. And as they come up towards the carousel section, this has been a really strong drive from McCutcheon.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's 4th place. You'll have a good chance actually down the dot in the hole, I think, because Van Herk's just a little bit too far back. Reinhardt with a couple of good corners there. He's got the gap down to 1.5 seconds. If he can keep that gap, this is back on. I really thought Lopez was home and dry, but I think he didn't quite nail the corner before the carousel. It's just giving Reinhardt a chance. He just needs to be within maybe 1.2 seconds going onto the dot on the high, and he'll be right in with a chance, but it's tricky to stay close around this part of the track. McCutcheon taking that curve, that's a terrifying course. So many of these curves can so easily spit you off, proper old school curves scattered around this track. And actually Lopez and Reinhardt now up to 1.86. This is the part of the lap where it's all corners. The draft isn't going to help you at all, and yeah, Lopez looking back strong again in the car number 1. McCutcheon, though, he's staying close enough, 6 tenths a second, that is fine. He doesn't need to be very close. Really, you want to be 1 second behind. That's probably the ideal gap to be behind, because then you can slingshot your way past, and you don't have to worry about the other drive coming back. Now Bubba trying to get to the end, but he's going to be overtaken by these few drivers with the amount of damage that he's picked up. Oh, no. Woodward's gone up as well there.
Yeah, that was an awkward one, wasn't it? Well, 1.9 seconds, I tell you what, Pablo Lopez has really pushed on in that last section there. So let's have a look from Woodward's point of view. Baba's there. Just went behind the... Oh, wow. Oh, God. Well, Baba's just minding his own business and then whack. It's hit like a golf ball off a tee. Deary me, he's been in the wars today, has Aaron Baba, but Pablo Lopez goes on to the Dottinger Hole, a 1.8 second advantage from Reinhardt, who has a little bit of rear damage, as we can see. Now, I think that Lopez might have enough here, Sam, perhaps?
Yeah, there's barely a draft between the two of them. looks like it's going to be all right for Lopez. Can McHutchinson get past Van Herk? It really matters who Reinhardt gives his draft to. That's looking good for McHutchinson here. He certainly hasn't got it in the bag yet. Still very wide this part of the circuit. They're catching up to Reinhardt, but they won't catch up in time. Van Herk, though, coming back again. He's getting his car back ahead. I think he should have him on the bricks as well. Still, they're staying alongside McHutchinson, trying to get the inside. Looks like it's going to be Van Herk winning that one, though, but out in the lead. He is going to take the race win. He's going to take the championship as well. Pablo Lopez wins at the Nordschleife. And what an excellent way to end off what has been a very successful season for the champion. Reinhardt and Van Herk ran out the paper. It wasn't quite to beat for McHutchinson. Brown with a brilliant 5th position. Still going on with Kyriakopoulos and Skierski and Crab. I don't think these guys are going to be giving up too easy. This would be a good result for Kyriakopoulos, who could get 10th place. I think it's going to be Skierski. No, they make contact at the end. Oh, that's not what we want to see. Will Rodriguez be able to get past Skierski right at the end, because he will be very slow, but it looks like Skierski will still have it in 12th place. Rodriguez will finish in 13th. I wonder if we get a quick replay actually of that one, because it was very close previous to that. But Peter, I mean, that was probably a good way for Pablo to win the championship, because he kind of showed his head there. He avoided the incidents, and we've talked about it before this season with Pablo, how he likes to be out in front to avoid incidents, and well, that was the case right there. He was once again out in front, managed to avoid all the carnage that was happening behind him.
Yeah, I think he just played that perfect. Played it tactically really, really well. Could run the pace of the front guys. Could kind of manage it super well, and made sure he wasn't running too close to other drivers as well. And he just played that so smart. And like you say, that's why he's the champion, and thoroughly deserving indeed. He's been watching this brilliant drag race down the Dottinger hole. Dennis Kyriakopoulos, and it is always a bit of a 50-50 there, isn't it, Sam? When you come into that last S, you really are taking a bit of a leap of faith.
Yeah, and it was Kyriakopoulos. Oh, he ran it in a big leap, didn't he? And yeah, and into Skierski. That was well, Skierski didn't lose 2 main places, so not too bad for him. That's the final results. Lopez wins out car number 1. That's like his 7th race win of the season or something. Very approximate numbers, but he's won a lot basically. Reinhardt in 2nd place. Philip Van Herk was in 3rd. Then it was John McHutchinson. Steve Brown was very much under the radar, but the seed number 16, very impressive, up in 5th. Joachim Bengtsson was in 6th. There was Peter Verlins, who led for a bit. Sebastian Chevalier was in 8th. There was John Aldridge and Dennis Kyriakopoulos rounding out the top 10. Behind that was Paul Crabbe, Lucas Skierski, Ruben Rodriguez, Robert Woodward, Aaron Baba, who also led for, or at least was in the top 3 for part of the race, Mauro Biscagli in 16th place. There's Yone Kainen, Adrius Valentigis, David DeWitt, Dan Webster, then it was Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, Kimi Antonelli right there, and Ant Castles ran at the 23 cars. Oh, my order is slightly different to what you're saying, but one of the orders was correct. They're all 5 laps down, pretty much. We have got an interview with our race winner, with our car number 1, and with our championship winner as well. Congratulations, Pablo. I mean, it was kind of mathematically possible for you to lose it. I guess it's still like mathematically possible for you to use it, even though it's highly unlikely. But we can pretty much call you the champion. Congratulations. I mean, you must be pleased to end off the season on such a high.
Of course, I didn't expect to win, because the draft first on the back straight is a little bit of a lottery, but it was nice to make the gap on the last lap and be able to not have to battle with the draft.
Absolutely. How you qualified a bit lower down than what we're used to. Did you? How many qualifying sessions were you able to do this week for qualifying?
I did today early in the afternoon one qualifying 0.9 of my VRS hot lap data pack, and it was enough for top 5. And then I tried 2 more quali sessions, but then I crashed trying to push, and in one, and then the other was an off track, so no better position on the grid. But here doesn't matter if you don't crash, you get the draft, and it's really impossible to get ahead without breaking the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this radical, are there any corners around this circuit which are particularly tricky?
Yeah, the section after the carousel, I love that section with ups and downs, but the downhill section is really freaking nice as well. And I got the time, I got the gap on that section, because in the carousel I had way less speed than the guy behind, in this case Michael, and he almost catch them twice the draft, but I could just get it in the limits.
When you look back on this season, are there any races which stand out to you? Is there a favorite race this season for yourself?
I just love the Radical Friday nights, to be honest. It's a really nice field with really nice SOF as well. I think we average like 4.5 iRating, so it's really nice field. And apart from too much draft in some tracks, it's really freaking nice battle with this car, and also just hot lap with it. I really love it. It's tricky on the first lap, but I really love it. And there is not particular race I would just choose. Maybe Mount Panorama, because the final part was a little bit lucky for me, and it was fun the last battle. But I would prefer to battle till the end of the lap without any crash.
Absolutely. And next season, can we expect to see you back to defend your championship?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, because I will have to make the V10 R League on the Gfinity thing in Assetto Corsa. But I will keep making the data packs for the car and the fixed series, and making the VRS hot laps free in YouTube to anyone to check how to go fast in this particular nice beast.
Awesome. Well, it'll be great to see you back, Pablo, even if it's just for the occasional race. And certainly will be a challenge for the other guys to take your crown off you. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Of course, to my teams, to my teammates, and Team Forcilla and Virtual Racing School for letting me pushing more every day. And also to all the pulpos spectating on these Fridays that are really pushing forward together.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Pablo. And yeah, we hope to see you back very soon.
Thank you. Good luck.
Pablo Lopez, there, your champion for this 2021 Season 1 iRacing in the Radical Racing Challenge. We're quite lonely here, Peter. I mean, we started, it feels like a while ago at the start of the season when no one would have a chat with us. We have improved on this, but once again, the drivers have vacated us. Just as we want to have a chat with them to get what their season highlights are. Just a quick shout out, by the way, to a few of our sponsors, Apex Racing Academy and Virtual Racing School, of course, providing some fantastic data packs with setups, driver tuition, group coaching sessions, and yeah, all of that stuff. So do check out apexracingac.com for Apex Racing Academy, and also virtualracingschool.com for Virtual Racing School, the absolute go-to driver tuition websites. And also thanks to SDK Gaming, who provide our lovely overlay for us. You can get a very similar overlay for yourself for streaming, broadcasting, or as a heads-up display as well. Lots of customization with it. So do check out sdkgaming.com for all of that. At the moment, Peter, doesn't seem like anyone is going to have a chat with us, but have you got a race of the season? I should have prepared you a few minutes ago for maybe to think about your race of the season, but on the spot, can you think of any which come to mind, which were a particular highlight out of the 12 that we've had this season?
I think Road America. I mean, I'm a huge Road America fan anyway. It's amazing to drive on. You really get the most out of any car, no matter how fast it is. You will always get to really stretch it at Road America. That's what I like about it. But it's also a good opportunity for drafting, as we saw with the Radicals too. And that was such an exciting race. From my memory, we had a drag race to the line, as you often do at Road America. So yeah, that would be my favourite.
Yeah, I think I may have to agree with you on that one. We did have Spa, which was on the that Sunday race that we had. Unfortunately, you weren't there, but it was a good one. That Spa round, very unpredictable, and that was good. But yeah, I think Road America, the fact that we had that race to the line, as that you mentioned, came down to a couple of hundredths of a second between the top two drivers, was a great one to watch. Still no one coming for a chat with us. But next season, Peter, is there anyone out of this current field? Maybe a Kike Ming, Kane Halliburton. If Pablo isn't able to do the championship next season, who would you put as perhaps the favourite out of the current field to inherit his shoes and maybe take next season's title?
Well, I think that the main thing was that Pablo was the guy who actually, if you look at his participation of the Fast guys, he was probably the guy who turned up to the most rounds as well, which definitely has lots of benefits, of course. But it's a hard one to say. Kike Ming, very fast, a little bit streaky. We've seen him having ups and downs. I mean, we've seen him having terrible qualifying and then finish on the podium, which has certainly been exciting for us. But as we've discussed at length, Kane Halliburton, if he can put a full season together, you've got to argue that he had every bit as much pace as Pablo did, and those were some of the best battles, I think, was Pablo and Kane, and we'll just have to see who turns up, and there's every likelihood that we get someone come out the woodwork who we didn't expect.
Yeah, definitely. We might actually be able to have a chat with a Joe who's just jumped into the waiting area. Peter, would you like to have a chat with Mr. Ant Castles?
I will, yes, indeed. Ant Castles, welcome to the Apex Racing TV commentary box. Now, unfortunately, your day at the Nürburgring ended a little bit prematurely today. Just tell us a bit about it.
I lost the rear. I'm just glad I didn't kill anybody, to be honest. It's tough.
Well, that is the benefit of virtual racing, I suppose.
Yeah, not good fun for me, but yeah, never mind.
And we've had you, of course, in a number of the rounds across this season in the Radical Racing Challenge. And any highlights that stick out for you?
I can't really remember, to be honest with you. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Each week has sort of had its incidents. I think I've had a good couple of finishes, but that's about it, really. The field is just so strong. Congratulations to Pablo.
It is indeed. It boggles my mind. I occasionally have a little bit of sneaky reconnaissance before broadcasts, and I'm going to a practice session, and I'm truly humbled by how fast you all are. That's why I'm here behind the mic. I mean, tell us about the car. I mean, how long have you been racing with the Radical for, Ant, and how do you compare it to other cars on the service?
I started back in 2019, and I've just since then just been plodding away with it, really. Season 3 champion in 2019. That's about my only glory in the sim. But then everyone started getting really quick, so I've not really been able to match that at the moment. Single lap pace is good, but race pace is still not quite there. But it's just so difficult, and with the toe in this car, it can be really annoying. But we all know about that. And we all know about the double clutch starts that I've unfortunately come unstuck on at the start a few races this season. So hopefully I can nail that for next season.
Now, I've heard, this was just this week, funnily enough, and I've heard about these double clutch starts, which sounds very Formula One-esque to me, but just without giving away your trade secrets, do tell our viewers what this entails, because I have to say I'm a complete novice on it.
You just need a button and a clutch pedal or paddle on your wheel, analog panel. And you can just play about with the setting until you get the bike point right. Use your button on full revs, drop the button off, and you should, if you've got your bike point right, just roll away. But unfortunately, it's kind of, for me, it's took a little bit away from the starts of the Radical, because it used to be fun off the line, but now everyone just seems to nail it. And if you don't use it, you lose out straight away.
Well, you've given me a new excuse for my book, which is good. That sounds mighty complicated, but thank you, Ant, for telling us about it. Now, before we let you go, who would you like to say hello to here on Apex Racing TV?
I'll just say a thank you to our sponsor this season, Concrete Ocean. Hopefully he'll sponsor the car again next season, and hopefully I can keep my iRating high enough to stay in the top split.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back again in the Radical Racing Challenge, and thanks for coming to chat to us, Ant.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
And Castles there. We are also going to have a chat with Erin Baba, who finished in 15th position tonight. Erin, tough night for you.
Hi guys. Yeah, it was a little bit of tough night because of the draft. It's really crazy, and then the crash happened. I was talking to Peter about it. It's okay. He moved a little bit on the right. I moved a little bit on the left. We were both trying to. There was a gap in between Pablo and the other guy, and we both tried to take the gap, and then. I don't know what happened. We touched a little bit. Unfortunately, I had the most damage, and Peter could finish the race or keep driving. But yeah, it's Nordschleife. It's if you don't push 100%. Yeah. The first lap, everybody overtook me. I was just hopeless because of the draft. You have the draft from the second, third, fourth, fifth guy, and then I didn't want to risk it from the first lap to go 5 wide in the last straight. So I backed off a little bit, and then I planned to overtake every lap 1 car or 2 cars, and I was good on my way, but then the accident happened, so the race over for me, but it's okay.
We're just watching back the crash now. Your car was destroyed. How on earth did you get it to the end? I mean, was it crabbing a lot?
Yeah, I couldn't drive the car. The steering wheel was bent, so that's why I crashed the second time, because it's really difficult to just, even with 100 kilometers per hour, you cannot keep the car straight. And I was trying to make some room for the guys behind me to not ruin their races also, but I was trying my best. But it's really difficult with this car. But yeah, it's okay.
Me and Pete were talking about our favorite race of the season. We both said Road America. I imagine you would say the same.
Yeah, of course. It was really close one, and Road America always makes for good races. But yeah, that was my favorite race also. I didn't do every race this season, but next season I will try to do all the races. I hope some fast guys will be there too, so the competition is really good. But the problem is you are so close with all the races, with the tracks, with all the tracks with draft. You are so close to each other, and the smaller tracks without draft, you will see packs getting away from each other. But I will try to do all the races the next season, and hopefully try to win the championship to take the crown from Pablo.
Awesome. We look forward to seeing that one. Erin, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Guys, you've done a really good job this season. I did my contribution for the next season as well, so I hope to see you guys broadcast the Radical races next season. You're really, really professional, and shout out to you, to all the Radical community, and we will start training for the first week of the second season.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the kind words, and we'll see you back very soon.
Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Aaron Baba, our favorite driver. Just speaking there. Yes, it will be good to see Aaron back trying to back up that race win from Road America, of course, last season. Yes, so that pretty much rounds out our coverage for this season. Of course, we will be broadcasting this championship next season. So we got a week's break, nothing going on during week 13, but we will be broadcasting all 12 rounds of the Radical Racing Challenge on this exact same time. So I guess there's going to be some clocks change in March, but it'll be roughly the same time on a Friday evening. So certainly do check that one out in a couple of weeks' time. We're really looking forward to it. Going to be a nice schedule, and yeah, we'll see if Pablo Lopez can back up his championship win. It's been an absolute pleasure to broadcast this one this season. I think we had Marco Barbanir. No one did Spa. No, yeah, it has just been us three. It's been us three this whole season, hasn't it? So thank you to, of course, Mark Janter for operating the cameras in all of these 12 meetings of the season. Of course, Peter Mackay has been alongside myself, Sam Fitzpatrick. Thanks for tuning in and making these streams worthwhile. Hopefully, you have enjoyed all the action. Hopefully, you'll give the Radical SR8 a go for it yourself and race in the Radical Racing Challenge. It really is one of the best series in all of iRacing. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Peter Mackay, and from Mark Chanter, we are going to say goodbye for the last time this season, and we'll see you back very soon for Season 2. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong,
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
and many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.